You know more than the average person does. I know you do. You are far more wise. You are far more knowledgeable. You know things and you can't explain why or how you know them. I know who I'm speaking to. I absolutely know who I'm speaking to. I have a question for you because I want to liberate you. I want you to liberate yourself. I can't liberate you. I want you to liberate yourself because that's what most people want. Most people want to leave the old paradigm because they want liberation. Now, that can come in a myriad of forms, but what you want is actually to feel free to be you, to feel free to do what you want, create what you want, be who you are. Just stop all the facades, stop all the performing, stop all the shoulds, stop all the gross stuff from the old paradigm. And I do have a question for you, but I really want it to be received in a way that it is meant. Of course, I can't control how you receive it, but I want you to know what my intention is. It is to help liberate you. What are you pretending that you don't know? What are you pretending that you don't know? Anybody who's at this place of awakening right now knows stuff that they don't know. Like, you don't know how you know what you know, but you do know. Because we've been taught there's just these five senses. There's just five senses. That's all we've got. If anything outside of the five senses is not real, or you can't prove it, so it's not really real. But more of what it goes on is actually not provable in terms of in a physical way, in the way we've been taught in the 3D world. So what are you pretending you don't know? So you could be pretending you don't know something about a person in your life, a situation, an opportunity, where you're at in your life, a decision you need to make. A lot of times when we're waking up, we pretend we don't know things are going on when they are. Because we can't prove them. Or maybe you've been gaslit. You said, I see this. And somebody says, no, no, no. We have to acknowledge that there's been a lot of gaslighting going on in the last number of years, okay? And, it depends who you are. It depends on your experience, of course, but absolutely women have received more of it than men, I would say. I think most women would agree, but it's happening to men too. It's happening everywhere. And so this is not about being able to prove something. We've been living in this world that says you got to have proof of something, right? Proof they have, the created proof. Either you can see it, you can hear it with your ears. And if that doesn't exist, it's not real. Well, I'm here to tell you that's not right. That's not true. Why would we have intuition? Why would you have psychic abilities? Because I know you do. You have ability to see things and you do not understand why. You have the ability to know things and you do not understand why because you can't prove it. So what are you pretending you don't know? What are you not doing in your life because you can't prove something exists, that you can't prove it, that you can't get everyone else to see it? Because this is what I know, 100% what I know, is that for those of us that have been awakening in consciousness first, okay, we've been awakening. When you rise in consciousness, that means you see things differently. That's just the nature of what rising in consciousness means. So this means you do see things differently. Give yourself the flipping credit. Give yourself the credit for the work you've done to see things differently. Give yourself the credit and take action based on what you know. Because here's the problem. Every time you pretend you don't know what you do know, you stay in situations too long. You keep people in your life too long. You hold back your life and what you're capable of too long. But you also hold back your potential too long, because not only are you pretending to not know things in your life that are not aligned with you, what you're also doing likely is you're pretending that there aren't things out there that are more aligned. You've got ideas, you've got things you want to do, and you can't explain why you feel like you're meant to do it. Because you can't prove it. You just have this feeling, this nudge, this knowing. There's some way you know something. You've got to start listening to that if you want to get to the next level. I'm not here to take your power away from you. In fact, I'm hoping to provide the inspiration for you to reclaim your power. But you have to be willing to look at what are you pretending to not know that you do. And if that sounds like something too big right now, what I would encourage you to do is start acknowledging the little things. Because I can guarantee it, there's been things going on for years where what you're being shown is one thing, but what you know about a situation is completely different. Start to listen to that in the littlest, smallest ways. And what I love about doing this work is when you start to do that, the universe will start to provide proof for you. When you start listening to the nudges, when you start listening to the synchronicities, the universe will prove to you that what you know and see is true. I started this experiment almost 20 years ago. So I would get little nudges about things, little things I know. I didn't know how I would know, but I would start playing with it and listening to the nudges. And eventually, when you do this enough times, what you realize is the universe starts actually giving you proof, right? And we're at a time now where the truth is being revealed so quickly. Start listening to those nudges. Start listening to the inner knowings and stop feeling the need to prove yourself to somebody, to prove to somebody else. You do not need a whole team of people agreeing with you. You do not need anybody agreeing with you. If you see something and you know it is true, that is enough. This is the new paradigm. You cannot get a consensus. You cannot wait for there to be proof in the 3D world because that is way delayed, way delayed. The proof is happening faster now, but it's still going to be delayed. If you have an idea, you need to act on it. Even if you don't know where it's going or where it's going to take you, you don't know what doors might open, what doors might close. If you want to feel truly liberated, that is the way. You must start acknowledging what you know, not needing proof, not needing anybody to agree with you, not needing any kind of sign. But you need to start acting. You need to start moving towards what is aligned for you. This is the new paradigm. You cannot enter the new paradigm. You cannot be liberated. You cannot create success the way I know you want to make success by waiting for consensus, waiting for proof, waiting for all these things, because literally years of your life can go by. The new paradigm is living in the moment. It is trusting yourself at such a deep and profound level like you never ever have before. This is what this is about. This is about ignoring all the advice outside of you, how to do something and what is right and what is true. Because I know, as somebody who's more conscious right now, somebody who is more awake, you have seen things and you may have even at some point in your life vocalized them. And people maybe laughed at you. Maybe people told you you were wrong. Maybe people told you you weren't seeing things the way they were. It is not up to you. It is not your job to get people to see things your way. That is not your job. It is not your job to fix yourself to be able to coexist with these people or these situations. That is not your job. That is something that's been really prevalent in the last number of years, is the more conscious people have been doing more work so they can coexist in situations that don't align with them. Be the bigger person, right? That whole phrase right there is a problem. I'm not saying you do things that are out of integrity and things like that and be rude and be callous. But the idea that the higher consciousness people are supposed to just make it smoother and easier for everybody else, that era is over, and it never really worked anyways, because all it did is it helped anybody who was in a lower consciousness state stay there. Stop doing the work of trying to convince everybody and getting everybody to see it your way. Start trusting what you know right now. This is the time we are in. This is the place we are in. I had no idea this message was going to come through today. No idea. But it's coming in strong. It is coming in strong today. It is no longer, you can no longer just go along. It is time to stand in your truth, stand up for what is right, and go live your freaking life for you, because you cannot carry everybody else. You cannot take care of everybody else. You cannot suffer to make life easier for everybody else because you are more conscious. What are you pretending that you don't know? What are you pretending that you don't know about people in your life? What are you pretending to know about situations in your life that you are not aligned with? Because you've known for a long time. You've seen the red flags. You've seen the things. Start dealing with those. because that is also keeping you from the life you want and deserve, the one that you came here for, the one that you signed up for. You did not sign up to come here and do the emotional labor and carry everybody else while they just live their life. That is not your job. That is not your job. Take that weight off your shoulders. It is not your job to carry other people. You are not being a bad person, an inconsiderate person, an uncompassionate person. Is that even a word? I don't know. By not carrying things with you that are not aligned. It is not up to you to hold relationships together. It's not up to you to hold families together. It's not up to you to hold jobs together, companies together, departments together, friendship groups together, situations together. That is not your job. You know something about those. It is time to acknowledge what you know and start acting on it if you want to get to the next level. You cannot move ahead dragging everybody along with you. What are you pretending that you don't know? This is a leap. This is a leap. 100% it is, because you've likely been doing this for a very long time, if not your entire life, being the bigger person. It is not your job to be the bigger person on a planet where most people are unconscious. It is holding you back from the life that you deserve. And I really want you to hear me say that. It is holding you back from the life that you signed up here for and the life that you deserve, pardon me. It is not up to you. Because there are dreams within you. There are ideas within you. There are creativity. There is something within you that is trying to break through. It is trying to get your attention. But you need to see these parts in your life where you're pretending that you don't know what you already know. There has been a lot of conditioning around being the bigger person, or it's just your family, or it's just your friends, or it's just they don't understand, or they're just figuring things out. Empathy and compassion are beautiful, but there is a fine line between having compassion and empathy for somebody and carrying them. It is time to no longer carry people, situations, relationships in your life because it is holding you back. The new paradigm is about reciprocity. It is reciprocity. It is a reciprocal situation. All your relationships, every dynamic you should be in should feel reciprocal. That is the new paradigm. Okay? It doesn't matter if it's work, marriages, partnerships, relationships, everything. That is your baseline. That has to be your baseline now of reciprocity. Creativity, expressing yourself. Reciprocal, receiving compensation for that. Relationships, you're not carrying them. There may be some days that you carry them, but overall they balance out. This is not about 50-50, right? That's kind of a weird notion. It's overall relationships and situations being 100%. People are bringing 100% of themselves to situations. This is the new paradigm. This is collaborative. This is a non-transactional era. There is a part of you that, oh gosh, and I hate that I'm saying this, but has been used in relationships, in situations. There are people in your life, there are relationships in your life, there are situations in your life where they don't want the best for you. They want you exactly where you are, holding everything together. And of course, there's a fear in that, because if you come into your power and you actually make decisions that are best for you, you know they're going to fall apart. I know you know they're going to fall apart, and they will. Some of them anyways, maybe not all of them. But ask yourself, what is the price I'm paying? What is the price I'm paying? Because as long as you continue to pretend that you don't know what you do know, your life is never going to change. And this is a bit of a tough love message coming through today. but I know somebody needs to hear it. And my intention is to give you some insights, some perspectives, so you liberate yourself from these situations, from these environments, because I know there is something waiting for you. Universe, life, whatever you want to call it, is trying to get your attention, and it's time to start listening. It is time for you to start to choose you. It doesn't matter if people don't believe you. It doesn't matter if people don't see what you see and know what you know. If you're still listening to this, it's because you are a trailblazer. You are one of the forerunners. No one really talks about what that is, like what that's actually really like. A lot of that is being misunderstood, being criticized, not liked. That is part of the job. That is actually what you signed up for. It's what you signed up for. Nobody who goes first is liked. Nobody who goes first is liked by the masses. But again, ask yourself the question, what is it worth to you? Like, where do you want to be? Because the truth is, to live your life on your terms, there are going to be people who don't like what you're doing. But who are you trying to please? Are you trying to please them? Or are you trying to create the most beautiful life and experience for yourself? Because there is absolutely no reward in life for being the good girl or the good boy, for putting yourself and your needs and your wants aside for everybody else. There actually is no reward. And we've seen this. We've seen this in the world. How much more proof do you need? But you being a higher consciousness level is key, because you choosing you is not selfish. It is actually what changes the world. But I don't want you to focus on that. Like, I really don't want you to focus on, I'm choosing me, so I'm helping the world. But the truth is, you are. Because when you stay in situations and you enable people, because this is what's going on a lot of the time, you actually take away their power. You take away their opportunity to grow. You take away their opportunity to raise in their consciousness, right? You holding everything together actually holds them back, holds people back, holds situations back. Some things need to dissolve. Some things need to break away. But there are some situations and some relationships that if you remove yourself, they will start to rise. But they can't if you are holding it all together. The world is going to change by those of us who have this higher consciousness level when we choose ourselves. Because the rest of everybody else is going to have to start to deal differently. That's the only way. The light needs to come in. The light needs to shine. Let it shine through. Let it shine through to other people and other situations. Don't stop it. It is your time. It really is your time right now, but you must choose yourself. Remember, there is no reward at the end for sacrificing yourself, for giving up what you want, for giving up what you desire, to giving up what you love, to giving up what you came here to do. There is no reward. So much of the work I do with people, and I don't talk about this, I actually don't really say this directly, and I'm going to tell you why I don't say this directly. What I really teach people is self-love. I actually teach people self-love. I don't ever say it because I believe that term and that concept was bastardized by patriarchy, by the capitalist system. It was really distorted. And what self-love looked like was bubble baths and, taking care of you and just, taking a moment to yourself and all this bullshit. It never talked about power. Self-love is about reclaiming your power and putting yourself first. And I've said this many times, but I will say this again. It's about caring about yourself above all else. Caring about yourself first and foremost. But remember, this does not mean you don't care for others. This means that you care about your relationship with you. You care about yourself more than others. I'm just going to share something here that's coming through. And I'm starting to share more about my history here in my family. I remember when I did this journey and started caring about myself more many years ago, and I've shared that I've distanced myself with my family. I don't have relationships with my family. And I remember years ago, a family member said to me, "You're selfish for putting yourself first and not putting us first." Now listen to that for a moment. And I remember at the time going, who's the selfish one here? Who's the selfish one here? So what was being asked of me and what I was being told basically is you should be putting us above yourself. But isn't that what the message is? And isn't that selfish for anybody in this world to say to anybody, you should be putting others above yourself? Anybody who says that actually is the person that wants you to sacrifice for them. There's no other way to mince words around this. There really isn't. This is the truth. Anybody who wants you to put them first is the selfish one. It's not you. I can guarantee right now, if you're still watching this, I'm at 21 minutes. I can guarantee right now, if you're watching this, there is not a selfish bone in your body. There is not a selfish bone in your body. So start putting you first. Stop pretending that you don't know what you know. And I'm going to keep saying that. Because the longer you pretend, the longer you put off everything that is waiting for you. It's like there's a river that wants to flow. All these things want to flow into your life. And you're literally putting up the dam, stopping it all. Alignment is so key, and I will keep talking about alignment, but it really is about aligning with yourself, the truth of who you are not, what do you want, what do you don't want. A life you love only comes from choosing alignment. It does not come from people pleasing, doing what you should, doing what all the rules say you're supposed to do. Alignment is choosing yourself. That is the way. That is the answer. And now is the time. I'm filming this on May 5th. And, the number 5 in numerology is all about change. And maybe there's some irony to this. I don't know why this message is coming through today. But life wants to change for you. Life wants to be birthed. Something new is trying to come through. And can you allow it? Can you actually allow it? It's not about fixing yourself. It's about stop denying what you already know. This is the journey now. You've done enough work on yourself. You know more than most people know. Your consciousness is way higher. You can see things that most people can't see. You know things that most people don't know. Acknowledge that. You're done that part. It is now time to choose you. It is now time to choose what you want. And with fierce determination and loyalty and conviction and self-love, go for it. Go for it. Something that I've been thinking about lately, I want to share is, the new paradigm can feel very uncertain, right? We're living in the moment. We're making decisions and we don't know what's ahead. But a question I've been contemplating lately is, what is the alternative? Like, really, I want you to ask yourself, like, what is the alternative to this? To go back? Like, for me, I would rather go for it, take the chance, risk it, than live a life of mediocrity. And sometimes we have to look at it that way. Like, what would you rather have? There's a book that was written many years ago. It's just coming to mind. And I forget what the woman's name is. I think it's Barbara Ware, but I can't be certain. You have to look it up. And it's the 5, she was a palliative nurse, or whatever you call it, palliative nurse. And she basically talks about the 5 things of when people like figure out when they're dying, right? Go check it out. I don't remember what the 5 things are, but you know, the premises of the book is like what we thought was important wasn't. You know, I think one of them is something like we wish we did more what we wanted to do. We wish we worked less. We wished we took care of ourselves, or something like that. Like, just go check them out. I really encourage it. They're profound. And so we can learn something from people who have been at the end. And it sounds morbid, but it's the truth. How do you want to feel at the end? How do you want to feel like you lived your life? Following the rules, like a good girl, like a good boy? I mean, I know I did that for many years. Very unsatisfying. Very unsatisfying. What do you want to say at the end? I fucking went for it, or I kept it safe. I kept it small. You are knowledgeable enough, smart enough, resilient enough. You will figure out whatever comes your way. Have you ever not figured it out? Like, really? You've come this far. Why wouldn't you be able to figure out whatever happens, whatever comes your way? Of course you will. Of course you will. Give yourself some more damn credit. Honestly, give yourself some more credit. You'll figure it out, whatever comes your way. Trust yourself. Believe in yourself. The song, Lenny Kravitz's song, Believe, keeps coming into my head recently. Go check it out, listen to it. It's an awesome song. I love Lenny Kravitz. But believe in yourself. Stop believing in the outside world. It's you. All right, beautiful soul. This channeled through today. Did not think it was going to. This was a pure channel. This just came. I'm sending you so much love. I'm in this journey with you. Every day I do things that I just walk. I just walk forward. I don't know where this is all going. But I know I'm having a hell of a lot more fun than I ever have. This I know for sure, a hell of a lot more fun. Because liberation, that is fun. That is fun. When you just don't care anymore. You just don't care what people think of you anymore. That's what liberation is, right? All right. Take care, and I will see you in the next video. I'd love to hear any comments. How did this land for you? What landed for you? All right. Big love to you. Take care.